Hi, all you good guys and gals out there in YouTube land. This is Chucky. What, were you expecting somebody else? Derek's not here today. He's busy pushing up daisies. I'm taking over the channel, and I'm going to talk to you today about my new movie. The greatest movie of the year. It's called Cult of Chucky, and I want all of you to watch it. And none of this Netflix stuff. I know you can get it on Netflix right now, but what are you, a fucking cheapskate? Go out and buy the Blu-ray. Put some money on Chucky's pocket, will ya? Help support horror movies going straight to Blu-ray. They're better than the shit you see in theater anyway. And Netflix, put down the fucking orange as the new black, will ya? And get a real movie. Or else Chucky's gonna come and get ya. Hey. Oh, hi. This is Derek. I guess you can't keep a good guy down for too long. We talked it out, don't worry. Today, I'm going to be talking about the brand new Chucky movie. It's called Cult of Chucky. This one, I watched this on Netflix just yesterday. I was very eager to finally give it a watch, and I won't bury the lead or anything like that. I love the movie, and I thought, you know what, this is collection worthy. So today I went out and grabbed the Blu-ray here. It has a cool lenticular cover, if you can see that. Tons of bonus features, unrated version, commentary, deleted scenes, all that good stuff. But on a serious note, let's support the Chucky franchise, and if you have the cash to do it, pick up the Blu-ray. It's well worth putting in the collection. Very collection worthy is how I would put it. The thing is, if you're familiar with this channel at all, I'm of course a big fan of the Chucky movies. And when it came to the last theatrically released Chucky movie, Seed of Chucky, I thought it was a horrible movie. And I remember my exact words were, I wouldn't be upset if this movie finally got the remake treatment, if Chucky finally got remade. Kind of eating those words now, because there have been incredible things happening with the Chucky franchise in kind of straight to video world, with the 2013 release Curse of Chucky, which was excellent, kind of going back to the roots a little bit with the Chucky franchise. And what was interesting, and there's going to be spoilers here for both Curse of Chucky and the new movie Cult of Chucky. So if you haven't watched Cult of Chucky, short review, great movie. If you're a fan of Chucky, I'm sure you'll like this quite a bit. But moving forward, one of the interesting things about that new, at the time new Chucky movie, Curse of Chucky, was you're stuck thinking, hey, is this kind of a reboot? Are they maybe doing like a mid-boot, or they acknowledge maybe, say, the first three with Andy Barclay, and they kind of erase the Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky kind of stuff. And you're left wondering throughout the movie, which is a really interesting play, and I think an intentional one, looking back on it now. But of course, you're thinking, well, it can't be a straight reboot because they're talking about the Andy Barclay murders in the movie, so it can't necessarily be a complete, reboot of the series. And then once it gets to the end of the movie, all bets are off, and they just unleash the floodgates and put in all the Chucky franchise stuff. So we see Tiffany back, and we see Andy Barclay in kind of the mid-credits Easter egg where Chucky gets mailed to him, and Andy takes out the rifles. They play with this, shoots him. All that was great. So it preserved the continuity, but I think still Curse of Chucky in a lot of ways went back to sort of the roots of the first one, kept Chucky, at least for the most part, until kind of the last act of the movie, kept him in the periphery of the story, and kind of made it more about, hey, is this doll doing this, and is it doing that, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But then we now come to Cult of Chucky, where I'd say it's more akin to Bride of Chucky, where Chucky's pretty, except for maybe, say, the first 20 minutes, so he's pretty front and center. We get a lot of Chucky in this movie, which is great. And I'd say it is more akin to Bride of Chucky, where a lot more humor is embraced, and there's a lot of self-referential kind of humor and stuff like that. which I loved because I'll still say to this day. I mean, I know not everyone will agree with it, but Bride of Chucky is my favorite of the franchise. Still, this one I think it does rival Curse quite a bit. I think they're both really good and both strong movies, but this one I'd say maybe I liked a little bit better than Curse because we get more Chucky fun and action and stuff like that, which I loved. And it follows the plot really well from where they left off in Curse of Chucky. Because one of the clever things that Don Mancini and company have done is that with Curse of Chucky, maybe a little bit of a gamble, and they left it sort of in the air, but we noticed, like, the hints of what's to come in the next movie, because we remember, of course, we had Fiona Dorff playing Nika, the wheelchair-bound main character of the first film, who's kind of framed for the Chucky murders, because, who's going to believe that a doll did and all that stuff. But we see that her niece is still alive, she survived, and Chucky is with the niece, and we kind of see this incantation, the voodoo, Ade Due Dambella, give me the power I beg of you, going on in the end, and like the grandma dying or whatever, but we're not sure what really happened there. Was he successful? But then all that's kind of, you almost forget it like the instant after, because we get the great Alex Vincent cameo with Andy Barclay. And if everything failed, if Curse of Chucky was a complete bomb on video and no one saw it and everybody hated it, who saw it, whatever, then it could have ended there. But they laid the groundwork, planted the seeds of this new sequel. And here, what's really cool is we actually get quite a bit more of Andy Barclay in the film, which is great. In fact, he opens the movie, and you kind of think, well, I mean, with these movies, I mean, Chucky's completely fucking ruining this kid's childhood, but of course eventually he grows up, and of course he's quite traumatized by it. He can't even go on a date, so he's on a date with this girl, and she Googled him. He's like, fucking internet. He's like, well, yeah, my babysitter was killed. You know what? A whole lot of fucking people were killed. What can I tell you? Girl's like, you know what? I'm not really into this. Good luck and everything, but bye. So another lonely night alone, and guess what? It's him and Chucky alone, because Chucky's pretty much impossible to kill. So he keeps the head in the safe, which is kind of interesting. We see the Kent Academy sweat, from the third film in military school. So like he like opens that, and inside is the Chucky head, and he's like blasting a doobie. He's like, you want some Chucky and whatever. It's like, just you and me again, good guys till the end, friends till the end, haha, and things like that. But in addition to following Andy Barclay, we're also following Nika from the last film. And she's in a mental institution. She was in a high security one. She's brought to a minimum security asylum in this one. And I'll say right away, I love movies that do this. I don't know what it is. I just think it's like always an interesting aspect when we bring like a horror franchise sequel to a mental asylum like that. Like we've seen it in obviously Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Friday 13th 5, A New Beginning, Ginger Snaps 2, some of my own home videos. Anyway, I think it's a cool setting, and this one's pretty cool. It's very like white and kind of claustrophobic, very like sanitized kind of look to it. And kind of what the cool angle is, if we have all these characters who are, say, mentally ill, have delusions, things like that, and we have quite a few in this film, the kind of angle is, hey, how do we really believe, who believes these people, right? Like, because they're crazy. They're saying a doll's coming alive. So I think that's an interesting angle, and I loved all that. But we see that the Chucky murders are taking place in this asylum, and we're kind of wondering, we're putting the pieces together, like, how can this quite be? Because, of course, Andy Barclay, he has the head of Chucky and locked away, and meanwhile he's getting all this work done, but how, and so what it reveals, and I'll say it now again, spoilers, but Chucky was able to kind of enhance his voodoo skill. I think he said, I went on voodooforDummies.com and learned an incantation where he can transfer souls into multiple good guy dolls and into people, of course, and that's how he's getting it done. And that is a great concept for this sequel because we have multiple Chuckies, which is really great. Like, and they all have their own ways of distinguishing themselves in the last act. Like, one has no arm, the other has the crazy haircut, and one of the funniest parts I thought was like Andy's here. I want to kill Andy. No, I want to kill Andy. You know what I've fucking been through? Hey, you got to suck titty today. No, and the one with the hair is like, look what he did to my hair. And then the other one was like, oh, yeah, okay, sorry, man. Yeah, you go fuck him up real good. That was real funny. So there's a lot of good humor stuck into the movie. And again, a lot of kind of, I don't know, neat references. Just some of the ones I caught. Like, not to the Chucky movies, but there was one, I don't know, a sly reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where the characters bond over juicy fruit, which I thought was interesting. You know, in the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jack Nicholson and the Chief, he like hands him a piece of gum. He's like, juicy fruit. He's like, damn it, Chief, you can talk. And this is like the big reveal of that movie. And, you know, conversations in regards to mass versus multiple murderers. They can never seem to get the phrasing just right in these movies, and there's arguments about that. And like lines repeated, like, he'll come back, he always comes back, which is what, you know, Chucky said at the end of Bride of Chucky. And all these great little, you know, tidbits that as a fan you can appreciate, and I thought that was all great, all well done. Nika, really, really great in her role, Fiona Dorff, and kind of the way it ends is, you know, we have Andy trying to come to save the day. He has his own little plan, but Chucky has plans of his own, and he finally takes possession of Nika, which is a cool thing to see, because it's always a little, I don't know, sometimes it could be cheesy to see an actor or actress kind of pretend to be the possessed version of themselves as another character. But I think because she's obviously Brad Dourif's daughter, so, you know, you can definitely sense the relation in kind of the voice that she's doing, and the laugh. She has the laugh right down, so good job with that, and some good like lesbian action between her and Jennifer Tilly. So, you know, if you thought Bound was good, hey, well, no, it's not as good as Bound, but, you know, hard to beat that. But anyway, everything kind of comes together in a good fan servicey kind of way, and I like that, and I like seeing the multiple Chuckies. And for what it's worth, this movie, and I even haven't seen the so-called unrated version. At least I don't think I did, unless that's the one that was on Netflix. Really great gore, like awesome, like fun gore kind of stuff. Where, of course, there's decapitations and there's guts coming out. There's one great scene, and just like I know I'm spoiling it, but I won't give this quite away. But a certain character has their fucking head stomped in, which was like brutal and disgusting and awesome. So it really does have everything you kind of hope for in being, you know, a fan of this series. And, you know, it kind of does answer that ultimate question of what Chucky's pretty much always trying to achieve in these movies, is what would he do if he does finally get a body to transfer his soul into. And the movie kind of ends in a way where you think, oh, well, I mean, some serious shit's going to happen. So I'm very curious to see what happens next in the series. So a great, fun, entertaining, just, you know, perfect kind of Chucky movie, I think. I really enjoyed it. And you got to think, again, thinking back to what I said all those years ago, how I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind if they remade it. I'm so glad they didn't. They've really achieved a lot in still keeping the continuity of what began in 1988 with Child's Play, the original film, which is quite amazing when you think about it. Like, think about all these horror icons. Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, they've all been rebooted. And here's Chucky. He's still doing his thing, and the continuity is still in place, which I think is a, let's be honest, a very rare achievement in horror these days. So definitely check the movie out. Again, if you can, support the series, buy the Blu-ray, shell out the extra cash. I know it's on Netflix, but, you know, if you have the extra cash, why not? This is only like $20, so, you know, not a bad deal. And you get the cool lenticular cover, Chucky with his little syringe and shit like that. So I went out and got it today. Of course, I got these guys today. I was at the mall. I was like, Spencer's Gifts. Let's walk in and see what they got. Hey, all right. So, yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I mean, what is it? Fucking Gone with the Wind? No, but it's definitely a. Oh.
Welcome back to the Chucky Show. Here's my movie review of Wonder Woman. She's got some nice tits, if you like mosquito bites. No, but really, I could give her the best 3 inches of plastic she's ever had. Think about it, proportionally, that's not too bad. But there's a crossover. Wonder Woman versus Good Guy. Now we're talking. I'd like to slip her a little something. What?